Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our podcast. My name is Daniel, and I'm here with my little brother Jayden. Can you feel the good vibes? Okay, so today we are reading some stories from the subreddit Am I the Asshole? So I have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have about 8. Okay, well, I have exactly 8. We're gonna see if these people are the asshole. Okay, are you ready, Jayden?
Uh, yeah, sure, I'm ready. I don't think eight will last in 2 hours though.
Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, so number 1. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law no one cares that she's pregnant? Wow. Okay, anyways, the story. Backstory. My cousin, a 33-year-old female, who all call Mary, lost her husband, a 32-year-old male, and 2 of her 3 children in a car accident last week. Her and her daughter are, as you would expect, it's just heartbreaking. Well, today was the funeral, and my brother's wife announced her pregnancy on the second they arrived at our house this morning. We were like, oh, congratulations, but please keep it on the down low for today. Well, when we arrived to the church, she kept making gagging sounds and rubbing her stomach, saying, I, as a mom, can't imagine what she is going through. They have no kids, so people would look at her and she'd tell them she was pregnant. Afterwards, my aunt's house, my sister-in-law kept making everything about her, like someone's in the bathroom. Sister-in-law would loudly say, pregnant lady needs to pee. She literally told my cousin's sister give her seats so the lady with the baby could rest her feet. I ignored her till she came to Mary, stuck out her flat belly, and said, me and Isaac just found out I was pregnant, and honestly, we are beside ourselves. It could happen to us. I snapped like, who says that to a woman who literally lost 2 babies? I said loudly to my sister-in-law, no one gives a fuck you're pregnant. Look around. It's not just 1, but 2 babies' funerals. Not to mention the love of Mary's life. Like, I knew you were an attention seeker, but for fuck's sake, you took the test 4 days ago. Just leave. She left in tears, and my brother called me a fat bitter bitch. I've gotten phone calls from my brother and sister-in-law's family calling me the world of names because I made a pregnant woman cry. If I'm being honest, even though Mary and my aunt thanked me because it was all making her upset, I feel worse about making a scene. Please put me in my place if I'm wrong.
I don't really think he was the asshole there. I mean, I don't really think she's the asshole. I mean, you don't go around in a baby funeral like talking about babies. You don't do that.
I agree because how are you going to go up to a woman who just lost 2 of her children and her husband and talk about how you are pregnant? And I think maybe making a scene was a little extra.
What?
Yeah. But I mean, it needed to be done, in my opinion. She was really, if she was causing everyone else at the funeral distress, then yeah, I think it needed to be done.
And also, she did say that the pregnant lady said, "Lady with the baby coming through."
Yeah, she said the lady with the baby needs to rest her feet. She did. She did the most in this situation.
She's the asshole.
Yeah, she's the asshole, not you.
So that was number
That
one.
was number 1. If you need to pee, go pee right now, because me and Jayden are going to talk a little bit. Jayden, what's today? It's June 5th,
Oh, it's January 5th of
2021.
2021.
We have school ending next Friday, and that means summer school for the bad kids. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do probably have summer school, but I'm trying. So, anyways, I want you to know that you could talk while I'm reading the story, like say, "Oh no."
It's like, ah.
No, not ah, but like if I'm saying her ears were cut off, her legs were cut off, her arms were cut off, you could go, what? All right, number 2.
6 minutes.
Am I the asshole for not taking my sister-in-law's permission to take our son for a fun day?
A lot of sister-in-laws.
There's only 2 with sister-in-laws, I'm pretty sure. I have a nephew, Kay, who's autistic. He and I are very close since I used to babysit him when he was 4 or 5 years old. I recently came back to my hometown for summer break after around 6 or 7 months. So I knew he was very excited to see me. Yesterday was my boyfriend's birthday, so I decided to take him for a date and all. While I was leaving to pick him up, I got a call from my sister-in-law about Kay wanting to hang out. I told her that I'm not free today and that I'll hang out with him in the next 2 or 3 days. So while I was in a long traffic jam, I called my brother to ask him if I could take Kay out the day after tomorrow. He said yes, so I called Kay and told him that I'm sorry for not being free tonight and I promised him to hang out. I also told him that it was my boyfriend's birthday and he also lectured me. Oh, you better buy flowers for him, but don't take roses, take orchids. So I knew he wasn't in a bad mood. Today, my sister-in-law messaged me about forgetting to hang out with Kay again because I prioritized my stupid date with my boyfriend over a special need child and made him sad. She also told me that I have to take her permission to, since she's the mother of the child. I told her that I took my brother's permission and she sure didn't have any problem with me babysitting her child 6 days a week for free when I too had tons of work to do. She said that it was my responsibility to do that and I'm an asshole for using that against her. My mom said that I should have kept my temper and not said the babysitting thing, but I was irritated at her always using the special need child card on everyone, even when it doesn't involve Kay. So am I the asshole?
I don't think she's necessarily the asshole here.
Yeah, I don't think this person's an asshole because
I'm pretty sure the mom is the asshole here.
yeah, I agree with that because she already had gotten permission from the father. And so she doesn't need permission from the mother if the father said that she could take the child out.
And I really find it annoying when people use cards like, oh, is it because I'm black, or is it because I'm a woman, or is it because my child's this, or is it because my child's that? I really don't like it, especially when it's not because of that, and it's just because they're doing something wrong.
We're getting a little controversial here.
A little controversial, Daniel. I'm not getting controversial. You're getting controversial.
I do disagree with her for using the special need child card because you shouldn't feel like it's okay to use your child or their situations, or their needs as a freebie, like a way to get whatever you want.
Like get out of jail free card.
Yeah, you can't just say, oh, well, you have to do this for me because my child is special needs.
Because I'm
special needs. But I definitely don't think that the poster is an asshole, but I do think that the poster
made of
I do think that the poster needs to have a conversation with both the father and the mother to settle that if they get permission from the father, then it is okay to take the child out on a fun day.
a fun day.
Fun Sunday, fun day.
On to the third.
We're moving on to the third. Maybe we should get into more detail about these.
But this depends on what the story is, because if the writer doesn't give details, we can't really give details for them.
Yeah. So number 4 says, am I the asshole for starting an argument when my mom told me she would confiscate my phone and iPad?
Well,
We'll find out.
debatable. Let's find out.
I know
Yeah.
the title makes me sound like a spoiled brat, but hear me out. Okay, well, I, 17-year-old female, have been having online school for the past year. This means being online for 6 hours and 30 minutes every day for classes, then more for doing homework and studying and tests. My mom argues that because of this, I shouldn't use my electronic devices after school so that I wouldn't have too much screen time. However, I'm a gamer. I use my iPad for playing games. Online school and quarantine in general has been really stressful for me, and my way of reducing that is to play games with my friends. It's also the only way for me to communicate to my friends since I haven't met anyone outside of my family in over a year due to my parents being very strict about quarantine. My mom has threatened to confiscate my phone and iPad many times, but hasn't done so because I have online classes every day and therefore need both devices to be able to join classes, do homework, and study. However, right now I'm in the middle of exams and the holidays will start in about 2 weeks. She said that she will take it for 1 day every 2 days during the entire holiday, which would mean I wouldn't have any contact with my friends or be able to play any games for half of the holiday. Normally, I would be okay with this, but I'm usually a relatively obedient kid. If I was still going to school and couldn't still talk to them, I would be okay with her taking my electronic devices so that I wouldn't have too much screen time. However, I really do believe she should at least let me keep my phone for several reasons. Number 1, I'm no longer a child. I've turned 17 and I am not the child that she has been really strict to these past few years. I have gotten my first phone when I turned 17, less than a month ago, and would like to keep it during the holiday. Number 2, even while I do play a lot of games, I always get good grades. I always make sure to review and study well. I do admit that I'll play a lot, but I am still consistently in top 3 in my classes every year, including this year.
Dang, top
That's
3.
pretty reputable. As I have said before, the quarantine has been really stressful, and I need the phone/iPad to communicate with my friends and play video games with them to reduce the stress.
She played Roblox or something. What you gonna do with an iPad?
That's true. Because of this, I ended up complaining to my mom and starting a minor argument. This made her more insistent that she said she's doing it for my own good, but I know that all this will do is ruin my mental health. Just to clarify, in my country, at 17, you are considered an adult and can drink alcohol, drive, etc. Well, that changes the whole entire story.
What
I
country?
know what country. Let's move. No, I think, well, the whole story made you sound like the asshole for a second, but at the end, you say that in your country, 17 is legally is of age and you are an adult.
Well, I disagree. I don't think she sounded like an asshole the entire story. I don't think she was entirely not at fault here. She was mostly not at fault, but I do agree that the mom had reasons, because 6 hours and 30 minutes a day, and then you want to play another maybe 3 hours. So I understand why the mom might want you to constantly be on the phone or iPad all day. I do think she should give you the phone back so you can talk to your friends, or maybe not make it every day, or maybe during the holidays, but maybe every other day. So
Um, so I personally agree kind of with both. Honestly, I kind of agree with both. So for the daughter, I agree that you should at least have the phone or something like one electronic, not all of them, but one. And with the mom, I agree because I had gotten my phone taken away earlier this year for like a whole month, and I think it was actually pretty good for me to not constantly be able to have a screen that I can look at. I really did. I also felt that need for a device because of the friends, because quarantine has made it harder for me to quarantine has made it harder for me to see my friends. So I need my devices to talk to my friends and stuff. But I mean, I think no one's the asshole really in this situation. I think you're not the asshole, and neither is your mother. So I think that that's something that just needs to be talked out. I don't really think either one of you is in the wrong.
The mother's in the right, and so is the child, and they're both slightly in the wrong too. I think a little quick chat about what they should do would fix it.
Yeah. All right. We're going to talk a little bit again and give a break for if you got to go to the bathroom or something. Jayden,
What do you want?
I got to admit, this
This
is our
sucks.
first episode. I
This is our
think it's
first
going
episode.
pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be very long or not.
I feel like you need to get more story too. It's only been
I
17
know
minutes.
17 minutes is not a bad amount of time, but we definitely need to make it last a little longer. I just think that I don't know. Can we just have a moment of silence for our first episode being kind of trash?
I know. Save this.
All right. Well, if you went to the bathroom, welcome back. If you didn't go to the bathroom, thanks for staying with us because I would have left. This is our fifth one. The next one, the title really does make it sound a little bad, but let's read the story. Am I the asshole for not fixing a kid's helmet, then laughing about it? During my boyfriend's family event in March, we were asked to take the kids there on a bike ride on the lot behind the house. The parents that had brought bikes and helmets put the gear on their kids, then sent them off with us. Some of the older kids, about 8 to 12, were very rowdy, and I tried a few times to get them to calm down, but they wouldn't. So I turned around to help another nephew. While I was helping him, one of the kids that was riding dangerously fell off their bike and hit their shoulder and the side of their face. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I immediately went over to check for any injuries. She didn't fall hard enough to break any skin or seriously injure herself, but she was in a good amount of pain and was crying. Her dad, who was watching from where the rest of the adults were, rushed over and whisked her off to calm her down. I assumed everything was okay, even though when we took the kids back 30 minutes later, I got an earful from him saying that I should have fixed her helmet because he could see from where he was that it was coming off as she rode. I genuinely didn't notice this and apologized profusely, but he was still understandably frustrated with me. We met up again with his family this weekend. The topic of our future plans came up, and my boyfriend talked about how we were planning on getting married after I graduated college. One of his sister-in-laws, the mother of the kid that fell, told him that he shouldn't marry me because I'd make a negligent mother since I let her child ride without a properly secured helmet. Everyone else started laughing, so I thought she was joking. I laughed too and said, sorry again. We all make mistakes. She blew up at me, saying that if I was so immature at my age, 20, I shouldn't be allowed around kids, let alone have them. My boyfriend told her to shut up, and we left. Some of his family messaged us after saying that we could never understand what it felt like to hurt a child, or to have a hurt child, and I had to own up to my mistakes and should have stayed to show I wasn't immature. Am I the asshole here?
Not at all. Not at all. Now, I think I don't know what's wrong with that mother, but I understand why they would be angry. I mean, if you see a child riding with a misproper gear on or they don't have stuff on right, you'd usually fix it. But she didn't see, and I assume she apologized full-heartedly.
She said she
I don't really,
apologized a lot.
I don't really understand why they would be so mad, especially to, continue it over and over again. I find that pretty immature, if you ask me, to drag something on like a little brat. Like, oh, you shouldn't marry because you made a mistake.
I definitely agree with Jayden. Like, she shouldn't have gotten all booty tickled. Like, why, if they were having a nice dinner, she really had no reason to bring up the child and stuff, and especially call the girl that she'd make a negligent mother and not to marry her. That's definitely grounds for her getting mad. And I think she is not the asshole because she kept her composure after being called a negligent mother, or a negligent future mother, and that her fiance shouldn't marry her. She kept her composure and she apologized again. And so I think that the family and the sister really have no reason to be mad at her because she apologized several times, and the sister-in-law did say some pretty harsh stuff.
I mean, I just find it really hard to believe that she would call someone immature as she was acting like a spoiled brat.
It's very hypocritical.
I mean, I wouldn't call it spoiled brat, but it was pretty immature of her.
Yeah, it was.
You're not the asshole. Don't worry.
You're not the
You're in the right.
It was definitely immature of the sister-in-law to call her immature and call her a negligent mother and say for her boyfriend to not marry her and also get mad again about the child.
As well as to start laughing about it and then get mad when they try to laugh it off.
And then be mad at her for laughing when everyone else was laughing too. She just was targeting her for no reason.
I'll assume they were trying to laugh at her and then she joined in, so they got all defensive.
Yeah.
Little crybabies. By the way, can we trademark booty tickle?
No, it's already a thing. I didn't make it up. It's already a thing. Booty tickle.
But is there anyone else popular that says it a lot?
Probably. All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for asking my parents for a different psychiatrist? I'm already gonna preface this story by saying that I agree. My mom had a psychiatrist, or a therapist, whatever, that she wanted me to have meetings with him, and I wanted a different one because I don't think that you should share a therapist with your mom, because what if she says something about you that might alter the therapist or psychiatrist's view?
Like how the therapist views you.
It might alter their opinion of you, which might break down your credibility whenever you meet with them.
And also
Okay. I, 15 female, just went to my first psychiatrist appointment. After my therapist suggested the possibility of me having ADHD, my parents began searching for a psychiatrist for me because my therapist insisted that only they could give me a diagnosis. Due to the pandemic, my parents really struggled to find a psychiatrist who was willing to take new patients, and we finally found a male psychiatrist who took new patients. The entire appointment was awkward for me. He told my mom that he doubts it's ADHD because she would have noticed it sooner. And he instead told me that I had some sort of executive dysfunction. He didn't take my family history into account. Both my brother and cousin have ADHD, or anything else I mentioned, really. He only said that it was too early to make any kind of diagnosis. He prescribed Wellbutrin for me.
Wait.
Why did I get antidepressants to treat suspected ADHD? But I had another problem with that. Besides the fact that he didn't diagnose me with anything when he prescribed the medication, I struggle to swallow pills. It isn't physical. I can swallow food no problem. But I cannot swallow pills for some reason. Every time I try to swallow one, even something small, I'm unable to. I recited this to the psychiatrist and he told me this specifically. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to take a pill. You're a teenager, you eat candy, you aren't autistic, and you aren't mentally retarded. So you should be able to swallow this pill. You're just afraid of it. You don't want to take pills or liquid medicine or anything like that. I get it. You want to be rebellious, but it's just a pill.
No. That's big time assholery. Now, I'm already going to say this. No matter what you do after that, you're not the asshole. That was just big time ass.
I felt really invalidated and uncomfortable at the moment he told me this. He claims to specialize in ADHD and autism, and he uses a known derogatory word to describe them. How does that work? I didn't want to be his patient anymore. I asked my parents if they could search for another one, but I'm worried that I'm asking for too much given how long it took to find this one. I asked a friend of her opinion, and she thought I was being overdramatic, whiny, and ungrateful. I don't think that's what she's being. I'm not sure if I'm in the right or if I'm making a huge deal out of nothing. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
The fact that you kept your temper after he said that,
that's true.
And I don't even know why you think you're the asshole here. He didn't really even do anything.
Yeah. That is a good point. Dr.
Douchen fart.
Dr. Douchen fart. Dr. Douchen fart. It's funny because it sounds like Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. Dr. Douchen fart.
Now you're.
Oh my god. He said, "Betty the poopy patient." No, I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think that you could be the asshole at all in this situation, especially after he made that comment because you couldn't take your pill. Instead of trying to assess the situation and find out why you can't take your pill, you're crazy.
Entirely immature of that doctor there. He should have. I get why a doctor would be like, "Oh, you just don't want to take pills." I get that, but
to say that you're not autistic, you're not mentally retarded. I mean,
that's big time.
I know that is almost like a crime of your profession. That's like a crime. Like you just go to jail. Go to jail.
Like, didn't this man oath not to hurt anybody? He just killed that woman.
I just realized something. Realized something.
What?
This girl, I don't know why I thought she was like 20 something in my mind. This girl's 15. It's probably really traumatic to be a 15-year-old and have
some asswipe doctor go like,
They're douching fart. It's probably traumatic to have something like that happen. If you can hear dogs, let's just have a moment of silence. I'll cut it out.
If you can hear what is known as
Doofenshmirtz, Dr. Douchen fart. Betty the poopy patient.
If you can hear the Betty the poopy patient.
Anyways, Hopefully the
Huh?
dogs.
Did it stop?
Hopefully the dogs are done because they're
Oh,
on my.
those are actually our dinosaurs.
Those are our dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're in the back like. Rah! Anyways, we're on our last two.
And 30 minutes, that's a pretty good
That's a
time.
pretty good time. I'm not gonna lie. For our first episode, 30 minutes is a pretty good amount of time.
Eventually, we're going to be doing this like 2 hours.
I know. I thought we were gonna be doing it for 2 hours, but these
Same here.
am I these
Sorry, our dinosaurs are
these
acting up.
am I the assholes don't really last very long.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for mowing my lawn at 7:30 a.m. to beat the hot summer weather?
What?
Okay, so this person currently lives in Salt Lake City, and
Okay.
the low is 70 degrees, and it reaches 80 degrees by 9 a.m., and it'll be 95 by noon. That's pretty hot, especially in the morning.
That's pretty hot.
Even at 9 p.m., it will still be 90 degrees outside.
Smoking.
And so they shared the responsibility with their duplex neighbor to keep the lawn looking nice. And it takes about 1 to 1.5 hours for both the lawns to be mowed. And they live in a city next to a I-80 interstate. And
I-80?
there's lots of noise from the interstate. So the neighborhood isn't super quiet, but the houses are indeed pretty close to each other. So, in effort to get my yard work done without suffering through the hot temperatures, today I was out weed whacking. I have an electric weed whacker. This morning at 7:30 a.m., trying to be done before the heat. I did this on weekdays in hopes that most people are getting up ready for school and work, as opposed to a weekend when people generally like to sleep in more. As I was working, I had my duplex neighbor come out and tell me I was being disrespectful by starting any time before 8 a.m., stating that there are city noises ordinances.
You need help there?
I did a little bit. After
Fix it in post.
After looking online, the noise ordinance in Salt Lake
Noise
City,
ordinance?
I think it says Salt Lake City, says quiet hours are from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I pushed back saying I think it's reasonable to start at 7:30 a.m. to beat the heat. And she kept pushing back saying it's a respect thing. Which I found funny because before it was lawn mowing season, she did nothing but complain about her last duplex neighbor that lived here before me not helping out with any of the yard work. So here I am trying to do my share of household responsibilities, but she is saying that I'm being disrespectful. I might be the asshole for making noise early. Am I the asshole?
I mean, I don't think. I'm pretty sure the lady took it a little bit too far. I mean, I get going outside. It's like it's 7 in the morning. Be quiet, and then going back in. But she shouldn't have dragged it on for too long.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I also think the guy,
especially if the city says that quiet hours are from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Last time I checked, 7:30 a.m. is not within those hours.
not within the hour.
Not within the hours. Meaning that
7
they
a.m.
don't have to be quiet at 7:30 a.m. because it's not within the 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. hours, which is like the quiet time for the city.
Okay.
Yep. I think you're not an asshole. You were just trying to mow your lawn. And also, the fact that you live next to an interstate with a lot of city noise, she woke up and chose violence. I think if there's already so much noise coming from the city and the surroundings, then why make a big fuss about mowing the lawn at 7:30 a.m.?
But, I mean, he could have waited a little longer.
Well, he wanted to get started early because it takes 1 to 1.5 hours. And he said that by 9 a.m., it's already 80-something degrees outside. And so if he starts at 7:30 a.m., he'll be done around 9.
I know, but I'm just saying, a lot of people sometimes don't always go to work or school because some stay. And when was the story taking place?
I don't know. I don't think it says. It was posted literally a day ago.
Let's just assume it happened during quarantine. Some people might still be at home, and they might wake up a little later because they can just use, especially kids for school. They wake up later because they use laptops. So I don't think he was entirely in the right. I definitely
it's
think
just
he
one of those
could've-
situations, you know.
Definitely think he could have maybe just took the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that lady was more of an asshole.
I don't blame him for trying to do it early so that you don't take the heat, because when we do laundry or stuff or baking or cooking or anything that makes the house hotter during the summer, we try to do it either early in the morning or at night whenever it's not very hot. Speaking of that, did you know that the quietest hours that's not what I meant. Did you know that the hottest hours of the day are actually between 4 and 6 p.m.?
In the morning?
PM.
Or afternoon?
PM in the evening, yeah.
4 and 6?
Between
I would have thought it would have been...
and 6 p.m. is the hottest hours of the day.
I would have thought it would have been 12 through like 3
Yeah,
at
you
most.
would think it would be at like noon or something, but no.
Because, that's when the sun's up. I guess that makes sense because the sun was out that entire time.
Yeah. Or maybe that's what it is. It's
Or
like
maybe
it's
it's-
at the perfect moment when the sun is like right above everything.
Yeah, but I guess since it's a longer time the sun has been up, and maybe it's because some things are built different.
Maybe it's because
I didn't mean it in that way.
Maybe it's because the sun spends all day up, and then at 4 to 6 p.m. everything is hot, and then the sun starts going down, so it gets cooler after 4 to 6 p.m.
And sometimes, maybe it's because the angle that the sun is at. Maybe it gets in houses better, or it gets under trees better.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't think you're the asshole, really. I just think like,
Why were we talking about hours again?
because we wanted to know the hottest hours of the day.
Did you look that up prior to
No,
this?
I already knew it because of a teacher from 6th grade.
Which story are we on?
Our last one.
No, it's going to cap around 40 minutes, more than 45, depending on the story.
Not very bad.
I mean, I usually stream for about an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay. This last story is, am I the asshole for ignoring my mom and missing my graduate? Oh, am I the asshole for ignoring my mom for missing my graduation and ignoring me? I graduated high school a few days ago, which was something I was really looking forward to. My mom missed it because she thought it was a half hour later than it was. The thing that pisses me off about that is that she didn't even check to make sure what time it was. After my graduation was over, her parents take my family for ice cream. I'm very grateful for my grandparents, but they did nothing to help my situation. She said nothing to me for the rest of the day, not even a congratulations. I was, and still am, super pissed off that she did that, and I did not want to talk to her, and to be honest, I still don't want to talk to her. She and her boyfriend, who I do not have a good relationship with, are now telling me that it was not okay to ignore her because she missed my graduation. She is making me feel like shit because I ignored her. Am I the asshole here?
Not at all.
I mean, a little bit and also not a little bit. It's like one of those things where you just kind of have to forgive it. She missed your graduation. She didn't check in to see what time it was. But I think ignoring her for like some time is a little bit like almost like doing the most. Like you could have just been mad at her for like an hour. And then it was one of the biggest moments in your life. But at the same time, it seems like she didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I get being really pissed about that because that is a big moment. Yeah. And I also get why the mom might be mad because you're still dragging it on about being mad about it. But I don't think either of you are really in the wrong. Both of you are more in the right. Yeah. I feel like you're both in the right. Neither of you are in the wrong. You're both have valid reasons.
Whoa. I kind of disagree because
You kind of disagree.
Yeah, I kind of disagree because I believe that the mom, whether she intended to be or not, is in the wrong here because she missed her daughter's graduation. She didn't check to see what time her daughter's graduation was, and she ignored her. So I think that she's in the wrong there.
Also, how do you miss it by that much? Our dinosaurs are acting up again. Sorry.
Are acting up. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I guess you're kind of right, but how did she even miss it in the first place? When we're going to events with my mom, we usually leave really early. We because maybe it's because my school's a little farther away from our house, but we don't go late.
Also, we always check the time. Like, we always make sure what time it is. I think that's where the mom really messed up.
Like, sometimes my mom will even call the school. It's like, it's this time, right? She'll, like, text my teachers, like, when is it? I feel like, okay, I guess the mom's kind of in the wrong.
It gets to the point where it's like, she bugs me. She's like, are you sure it's at 7:30? And I'm like, yeah, it's at 7:30. I told you, like, 4 billion times. But it's better. Sure? I'd rather have that than her not ask me at all what time it is and then miss it.
Since it's about to end our stream here,
this podcast episode is about to end.
I'm used to saying stream. Let's just apologize for the bleed. This is our first time streaming.
Yeah, if you hear if the audio is really bad, give us grace.
It's Daniel's fault.
Yes, it's my fault. Give us grace. Give us mercy, because this is our first episode. We are trying.
I promise. Next episodes we're gonna do a lot better.
And if you can't hear one of us because we're not talking into the mic, it's Jayden. It's his fault.
Shut up, Daniel.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in and being a part of this horrible episode. It's like a trash episode. It lasted 43 minutes. If you want your 43 minutes back, you're probably 45 minutes. If you want your 45 minutes back, please message us, and we'll refund you your 45 minutes.
Yeah, we apologize. I'm sorry.
We definitely did not realize it was gonna
be this bad.
We didn't realize this episode was gonna we didn't realize this episode was gonna be this bad. Like, we didn't realize we tried a billion different techniques, a billion different ways to record, a billion different everything, and we just can't figure out how to do it right.
Yeah.
So if this first episode is bad, it's literally unfixable.
It took us like 4 hours to get ready.
Yeah. It really did. We started at 10:30 in the morning, and we barely started recording at like 1
Oh my god, it's 2:40.
We started recording at 2 o'clock. So, Jayden, what did you think about our first episode?
Poopy.
It was probably poopy, yes. You have 10 seconds, Jayden, to say whatever you want to say to the people listening.
I'm very sorry, and I hope you can forgive me. Banana shit.
Okay, that was extra, but I also am very much sorry, and hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and just feel the good vibes.
Bye, have a great time.